Empire thought they had taken everything from us. But what they don't understand is, the more you take, the hungrier people get. And friend, we got hungry. When we had lost everything, we found each other. We found ancient truths and forgotten poems and stories that told us who we used to be. Together, we drove out the conquerors. Now, our home, our haven, is a land reclaimed. A land conquered. That's a powerful phrase. When you hear it, what do you see? A home worn down by the boots of empire? A people torn apart by strife or bowed and bent by oppression? That's what they want you to see. When they conquered our home, the empire thought they had taken everything from us. But what they don't understand is, the more you take, the hungrier people get. And friend, we got hungry. When we had lost everything, we found each other. We found ancient truths and forgotten poems and stories that told us who we used to be. Together, we drove out the conquerors. Now, our home, our haven, is a land reclaimed.
Hey, hello, welcome Poggers, PogChamps, and DePoglios. I hope you're ready to eat some chicken dinners because we're dropping into the last episode of Haven, a land reclaimed from All Nerds Here. And after that intro, it's very clear why this is our finale. No one should ever have to say what I just did, but I did it. So here we are. We are 4 days out from the anniversary of DePiglio, so I hope you're all excited and ready to celebrate that. In the meantime, thank you for sharing your holiday season with us. And this is All Nerds Here, and we are playing Legacy Free from the Yoke by Mina McJanda and Fyodor Kasatkin. This is once more into our own homebrewed fantasy world, drawing inspiration from Mesoamerica and South and Southeast Asia. Thank you all for being here. I'm JR, as always. I'm the arbiter of this. I play with the Guardians of History handbook, and my pronouns are he, him, and then the characters of the pronouns of the characters that I play, as well as the characters of the pronouns I use, will become apparent in play. Let's play to find out what happens, which I guess is Simon.
Yeah, it's me, Simon. I'm here once again for the last time. I am going to be playing the Woven, who are, of course, the Newfound Family playbook. And the avatar that I have for this age is no longer Shochi, who is now one of the arbiters, but is a scout named Ozomatli. My pronouns are he, him. Ozomatli's pronouns are also he, him.
Excellent. And then I don't know if he's a pronoun, but he's at the very least a supremely talented amateur. It's Alex.
Amazing. Yes, I've hopefully soon I will lose my amateur status. So I'm Alex. My pronouns are he, him. I'm going to be playing the Forgers of Unbroken Bonds, and my avatar character is Chimali, who uses she/they pronouns.
Excellent. Then once more, not a pronoun nor an aesthetic disaster. It's Rue.
Oh no. One day I'll be an aesthetic disaster.
One day.
I'm Rue. My pronouns are she, her, and I am playing the Ashes of Prithvi using the Teachers of Ancient Truth playbook.
Excellent. And then it seems like Viditya is still stuck in a time loop.
Help!
You're trapped there.
I'm stuck in a time loop.
Trapped in an animated hive. Maybe
Everybody,
if we all believe.
chant, and you have to chant Middle Fantasy in chat, and it'll break me out of my gift time loop.
Middle Fantasies in the chat.
Amazing.
There's people that aren't us typing this.
You gotta
There's people
chant
that aren't us
harder.
typing this.
Oh my god.
Good thing.
Thank you,
Real.
everybody. Oh, through the power of Middle Fantasy, I'm Benito Voletti. I use he, him pronouns, and I am playing. I'm playing the Sages of Cinder, who in the original game are the Church of the Forgotten Lands, and my character today and to the end of the campaign is Shuda, who uses she, her pronouns. Oh my god.
And Kevin has left us.
We
but
broke
if-
them. We did it.
This is the last. That was
in
the,
a duel and sent to the Shadow Realm.
oh my god.
He'll come back if I give him his bedroom back. Hang on. There we go.
Yeah, I'll give him something back as well.
That's okay. We'll just replace him with the excited Vidithia.
Two video.
There we go. We did it. The threat worked.
Finally, returning from the void for understandable reasons is Kevin.
Hi, I'm Kevin. My pronouns are he, him. This is my last show with this group. I play the River Folk. I play the River Folk, who are a reskin of the faction playbook, the Brotherhood of the Serpent. And my avatar used to be Win, whose pronouns were he, they, but is currently Dao, who used to be known as Ironcloud, whose pronouns are she, her.
Excellent. And with that, let's set the stage for our finale. So last time, well, Vidithia, you were here, so I don't need to recap what happened for you. But for everyone else who was not stuck in an animated Hive, war has come to Haven, and with it come the Boots of Empire, the antagonistic force known as the Hua, who are a sort of conquering, colonizing force backed by the old empire that used to occupy Haven, have returned. They have been defeated in battle here and there, but they are still pushing forward across the shores of Haven. Meanwhile, enemies to the north and west of Haven are closing in and have arrived, bringing with them great woolly mammoths and other beasts. I think they have other like prehistoric mammals wandering in along with them. Not necessarily that they're riding them, but you know. While all throughout Haven, our heroes have prepared for this, the moment where it is up to the heroes of this age to stand and decide whether their land will be free or whether it will once more fall under the invading force that has come to claim back what they believe to be rightfully theirs. So, beset by enemies on all sides, with no way out but through, and with a monstrous megalodon churning chaotic turmoil in the ocean, I turn things over to you. War has come to Haven. What do you do?
Well, so we got war on two fronts.
You have a war on two fronts. And if we
The
cut over to the map, I can show
Yes.
these two fronts off.
yeah,
It is up.
So the Tusk Lords last time advanced and have besieged the city of Mahasmasanam, which is a great necropolis city that belongs to the Sages of Cinder. However, the city is being reinforced and backed up by an alliance with the Ivory Riders, a faction with whom both the Woven and the Sages made peace. They are holding out against the odds, but they can only hold out for so long before the inevitable comes and they must either fall or capitulate. They are bent and they will break, but perhaps they may snap back. And meanwhile, over here to the south, the blossoming invasive flower that is the Hua, whose roots now extend through the jungle as they have pushed forward, hidden and unseen, taking poisonous root within the land of Haven itself. Even though it has cost them, as you can see, we're currently erasing it has cost them some of the outlying territory that they had claimed last session. The Riverfolk reclaimed the settlement of Safe Harbor.
That's good.
So, what do we focus on first? What do you tackle first? Where do you send aid? Do you try and get aid to the besieged forces in Mahasmasanam? Do you try and tend to the encroaching Hua? Or are some of you trying to go and see why the ocean is so chaotic, even as the forge masters of the Forgers of Unbroken Bonds complete their work on a massive set of armor that has been outfitted onto a rainbow-scaled plesiosaur of mountainous size?
I guess
Go ahead.
the sages are probably gonna ask, hey, I mean, like, I don't know if this is actionable at the moment, but they are gonna ask for maybe some aid on the front. I mean, they're like, we have we have like the Ivory Riders with
Mhm.
us holding guard, but you know, the sages are in a military force. So they're probably going to call out for like a, hey.
No, that's absolutely actionable. As I recall, you've got influence on folks, and you can ask for aid. That aid can be, yeah, you can call in a debt. So go ahead and check and see who you've got influence on, and who you would like help from.
Okay.
You can also like ask for help as well, just fictionally. But I think you can kind of
Well,
push things here.
yeah, I have influence on the Forgers and the Riverfolk.
Mm-hmm.
So I might call for. I know,
Clearly
like,
the Forgers are gonna fight for you.
Yeah,
well,
obviously.
I mean, the Forgers are, you know, now they're strapped, right?
Yeah, we're doing good.
We're doing pretty good. I think there's probably a little bit of dissonance with what's going on the other border for the sages. So I think I'm gonna ask the Riverfolk and be like, "Hey, y'all, we like, you know, we're cool, right?" Well, I actually know what I can spin this. I can spin this. Give me a sec. Evan, come on, have faith in me.
You're the one that had you
I went
got
from zero-
yourself in that tone.
I was like, yeah,
I
this
ain't
works.
do shit.
Nope, never mind.
All right. Well, so how do you spin it? What do you say? What's the message?
You like so something that we never really explored too much, but we established early on was back when back in like the founding of Haven and stuff like that, the Riverfolk helped move and hide sages and like the people of the sages from imperial like persecution and stuff like that.
Mhm.
Because we got into religious debacles as they took our ideologies. And so like they've protected us in the past, and that's why there are like monasteries, like Sages of Cinder monasteries on their islands off on the coast. So I think it's like, hey, you know, like in the spirit of us, like, you know, fighting up against another invasion. We are at our backs on both ends, or we're like, you know, they're at our backs, and like we reach an arm out again, not to pull you up, but to ask to pull us up again.
Ooh.
You know, because also before, this is like the second time that we've been like, shame on you, but also you're fine. Like we've absolved you a bunch of times, so now it's like, hey, help.
Help us.
Us liberating your temples on the archipelago weren't enough. Okay.
Well, I mean,
Yeah, we'll come help. I don't think we formally reply, but like just some riverkin ships like come up the river. So,
Yeah.
like one of your holdouts.
Okay, so I lose, and then technically that gives me, I could take a surplus, gain advantage on a move that targets them, get them to back you up, fall into. Okay, so this is just me asking you to back me up.
Yeah, get them to back you up as you. What do you do? It seems like
Well-
you wanted aid for Mahasma-sanan.
Yep.
Yeah, I think I could also do the lend aid action for you too, because I mentioned that the foragers were like slightly involved over there, having their people like saying, "Hey, refugees, leave this place. It's terrible over here. Come to Skyfire City," right?
Yeah.
So I think that you could easily communicate with them and get messages back and forth and get the foragers to lend some of their like logistical support in like helping you move troops and stuff like that.
Oh, that would be really nice. Yeah, because I mean, in terms of like, let's say we do go into a pitch battle, I have like my surpluses are not great. I have leadership in terms of like something that I guess I could utilize.
Mm-hmm.
And I just want to kind of make things clear here. Also, a pitched battle is definitely one way and a very good way to like handle this. If that's what you're, you might also be able to do something with a zoom in as like your characters, venture in, and we kind of focus on what they're doing to either break the siege or things like that as well. Because if anything is worth being the story of the age for some of these characters, it could be that.
That is a good idea. Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
or both.
sure,
You can always
badass.
have the pitch battle while you zoom in, whatever. Like we can do whatever we want. It's role playing games.
It's role playing. Yeah,
We
and
have the power of the biggest and best special effects computers in the world. The
Our brain.
imagination.
it's right here. Yeah. Okay, yeah. No, I think that's nice. Then yeah, I'll use my influence on you to also.
Or if I use my influence on you, I can give you a die to get advantage on your next whatever action you want to do, if that would be useful.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. Let's. Then I think I'll read the wind then, so that I can get, because I do like the idea of zooming in more than necessarily a pitch battle, because we're probably gonna have two of those anyway, so we can feel more dramatic. So
Yeah.
I want to read the wind so I can get an idea of like what are the movements of the Tusk Lord, so we can like cut them off and maybe see.
All
exactly-
right. Well, it sounds like you've got the question you want. So
Yep.
go ahead and roll.
Okay, what's my reach? Oh,
Yeah,
not great. Oh, but I do get a die for it.
And make note
Got
of which
it.
one of those is the highest or the lowest.
Yeah, for the influence.
Yeah, one of your die should be like different because it's Alex's.
Yes.
I die.
Ooh.
I'm making drifter noises over there.
Good start.
Yeah,
Exciting.
that's what it is. So no matter what, I get a 6.
Total?
Yeah, because I rolled 2. So here are the dice that I rolled, and then this is Alex's added die. So,
Oh,
Well,
I rolled this
and you have
one.
So-
-1 reach?
Mhm.
Dang.
I thought I had -1 grasp before I said this, but that's fine.
That's fine.
And-
It's fiction, right?
I was looking up the rules, so I didn't see. But if the die that you got from Alex is the highest, they regain influence on you, and if it's the lowest, I get to say what misfortune the stages suffer.
Oh, good.
Which
That's
was
one
it?
of
Was
the
it the
lowest.
highest
it's
or the
timed
lowest?
for lowest.
It's
so does that
time for
count?
Lois.
I think Ty goes to the runner.
That's
Okay.
fair.
So you're trying to help them kind of scale or do like logistical support and stuff like that. And what happens is you're coordinating, and it's going extremely well. I think you are definitely able to help the like people who want to get out of Mahasmasanam escape from there.
Hmm.
But so they're out. They're on their way to Skyfire Peak, or at least they should be. However, your communications have been monitored and intercepted. The hunting hawks of the Hua have been catching the Archaeopteryxes, and riders have been ambushed.
Oh my
And
God.
the refugees are rather than making their way down the broken path that is now aqueducts across the Serpent Song, have been captured and are being held in the Changers of Coin's secret vault, which is occupied by the Hua.
Oh shit! Oh
Wait.
shit!
No, I thought that went to us. Either the River Ken or
It-
the.
It
Okay.
Yes, it did go to you. It
Okay.
did.
We lost it.
They have taken it.
Okay.
They have taken it as a part of, their
Their
invasion.
conquest.
Okay.
Mhm.
Rude of them.
How dare they?
Extremely.
Show the map. For
So I have an idea for a
Um,
quick thing I could do.
Mhm.
Because I want to use one of my surpluses to address a crisis, which is the thing I keep forgetting you can do.
Absolutely.
So I would like to spend. I think this hangs together. Let me know if this sounds like the right tool for the job to you.
Okay.
So I have a surplus of trade right now, and I have
Mhm.
a crisis, which is there's a bunch of Hua who are right next to my city.
Mhm.
So what I would like to do is basically take my people who are doing the trade work for the foragers and send them out as people to spread the story and the information that the foragers have a big armored kaiju now, in order to try and scare off the Hua from coming and attacking Skyfire City. So they're going to be spreading this story, letting it grow in the telling, showing off all the cool art that people have made of a big armored rainbow kaiju in Skyfire Peak, making it so that this is both a true thing and also even scarier than it seems already.
Very good. I think that works. So the crisis you want to solve, I don't think that this will get them to abandon their holding. I think that but I think it solves. They are not going to attack, at least not with the forces that they have nearby. I
Right.
think if they bring more troops and no one does anything about it, they'll want to come prepared to fight a kaiju, but that takes some logistics.
It
and
takes a
doing.
minute. You got to go get some ballistics and stuff.
So yeah, Skyfire City is safe, and no reactions from me, at least for a while. From the Hua, we'll target that.
Cool.
Just to kind of be a little bit transparent. All right. Who else wants to do something before we either zoom in, or we can zoom in now and just come back to it after you.
I'm kind of
So.
I'm
I
kind of
think-
curious about the world
Oh,
stage.
go ahead.
Well, just before we zoom into my side of the frontier,
Mhm.
it would be interesting to see what the rest of the world state is. Kind of
Yeah, absolutely. So let's check in then with Ozomatli and the Woven, who has brought back this report of an Imperial base and staging ground down near the White Hall along the coast, kind of built into the high cliffside. What are the Woven up to?
Yeah, so last time Ozomatli was able to infiltrate that base and plant explosives to try and slow the tide of their advance and steal supplies and bring them back to the Woven. So I think what they're doing is kind of using that information, and I think under sort of the nebulous new rule that is not Tizpal's sort of rah isolationist sort of attitude. I think they're a little more interested in spreading that information around. So they've sent runners to try and talk to people about here's what's coming. You need to do something about this. Shochi tried to do it, and not a lot of you listened, and now here we are. And so, for real this time, I don't think that's necessarily a specific move in the fiction, but perhaps we might actually continue to try and sabotage those efforts, especially the efforts of the Hua on the coastline. So we might be attempting to perform some subterfuge.
I think that sounds pretty good. Yes, subterfuge sounds exactly like what that move is. So go ahead and roll plus, not
Sleight.
craft, plus sleight. That's the one.
That's the one. All right. So it's a 5 and a 4, and our sleight is. Did I give myself good sleight? I did, because we were going to be spies from the get-go.
Heck yeah.
So that's a 10.
Okay. So you can sabotage that particular asset, make it fail on at a moment of your choosing.
Yes, that is what we are going to do.
So whenever you decide, when the Empire draws on that, it will fail.
Yeah. So Ozomatli's done his initial push to kind of harass them. I'm sure they've doubled security, but we send a cadre of additional sappers and rangers to head down there and stay on standby and just camp out as soon as these guys try to mobilize their fleets, bring out more munitions, whatever it is, pop the charges and pick off the stragglers. And
they don't have to move slowly either. I think there's a cenote that they hunker down in that two other people might feel kind of creepy or haunting, because I think it's one of those places that kind of dwells, to the people above ground or who aren't familiar with this. This is kind of down in the darkness where it's cold and where the water brings in who knows what from the depths. But to your people who are comfortable down here, it is home, and they are hidden. They are never found by the patrols, because who would look down in this unassuming hole in the ground?
Yeah, exactly.
Excellent. What
That's
about
what we're up to.
what about the Ashes of Prithvi?
Yeah. I think in the last one we had started moving forces to help the River Ken with the Hua. I don't know if any of them are still there, if they're all now helping the sages. But either way, the Ashes stayed in that area, and
They're
that
kind
is
of in that area between the Forgotten Temple and Skyfire City,
yeah.
working to help. Well, which do you want them to be doing? Because
Oh, which area?
you run the house.
Oh shoot, these are both good. Let's go with the one that's closer to Skyfire City,
Okay.
since that's right in that land.
Yeah.
And I think this should work. The right tool for the job. So
Yes.
we have a surplus of land. I don't know if this can really work like this, but I'll try it.
Yeah. Pitch me on this. I'm curious.
So I think rather than giving land, because this isn't really land that's under their control, they want to attune the land so that it works for them and any of their allies that are in the area. So when they're in this land, they're more there's just always cover in the right places. They're always in the shadows, whereas the opponents are always light is always shining on them.
Yeah. So
they find resources more easily. They find berries to eat, or weapons if they lose theirs. So they're gonna try to attune the land towards them.
what do you want to accomplish with that? Are you trying to drive the Hua out, or just buff up the sages, or what's your goal? That's my question.
Um,
Is it more against or in support of?
Um, hmm. I think their purpose is to drive the Hua out.
Okay. Then yeah, I think that could definitely be a good use for the right tool for the job. In order to do that, you'll need to move your surplus of land uh, from the southwest of the temporal temple um, down there, basically, which is a weird thing to think about. But hey, you know what? That's how the system works.
That kind of makes sense. I feel like then that means that their land that they currently occupy is like not protected by their powers because they're
Yeah,
moving it over here. So it puts
I
that
think
land.
so. And you'll need to also trigger logistics, which
Okay.
your mood is above negative numbers, so you don't have to worry about that. But you do have to pick one because turmoil exceeds control by a fair bit. So you just need to pick one option of the list, which is it either takes a while and the process won't finish until the start of the next season, the delivery stalls out, and I'll tell you what needs to get moved again, or you gain a need of my choice because you have to push yourselves to do it, or I'll tell you whose land it has to pass through, and you'll have to get their consent to travel unopposed.
I think you push yourselves to make it happen, gain a
Yeah.
need. I think that this isn't what they normally do, and so they're kind of making up the ritual as they go.
That makes perfect sense to me. The need you gain is attunement,
Got it. Okay.
because you're using that, and you bring that to the land around Skyfire Peak as the land itself becomes your ally in driving out the Hua. So that's two of you now that have used the right tool for the job on the changers of coins. So I think their influence here goes away. So I'll go ahead and take them off of the changers of coins secret vault. In the aftermath, the people that were there find that the vault has been expanded, and it looks like they were digging rapidly in 2 or 3 different directions before they sort of focused, and it's hard to say what they were digging for exactly, but it looks like they were able to find something. There's a lot of mining equipment and other things that were down there, other tools of forging and that sort of thing. But between the ashes and the sages, they have been driven out of there. Very cool.
Very cool.
And what are the river folks doing?
They are trying to come up with a contingency. Now that on a player level, the thing they were going to do is no longer viable.
Oh, no.
Yep. Sometimes everyone solves. They're like, they solve the problem you were going to solve.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And now
Sometimes you have several surpluses that can end an age instantly.
Yeah.
which
still-
it looks a lot better now. Now that you've kind of like pushed them back.
Yeah. Nah. Let's see. So, the claim by force. We're gonna take that bay east of the kelp
Yeah.
border in the jungle.
Nice.
We want to get him off the.
That's pretty
We
important.
want to get him off the continent.
Excellent. So you're targeting that bay where they've got a landing.
Yeah.
Big skull. All right.
Yeah. Exactly.
You're going to go claim by force.
Ooh, baby.
Ooh, baby, a triple. Try and claim it by force. You will be rolling with disadvantage for this one. They are dug in and they have control of the area around you and are used to countering the moves of the river folk specifically, especially.
Oh. Okay, well, it's a good thing I already have advantage from being flush with resources earlier.
Hey.
So I can cancel out.
Hey,
Wow.
Let's see. Okay. Seems less confident than before. Okay.
good.
You got it.
This is where we got
Oh
to be.
boy.
got
Oh,
it.
wow. That's
Good one.
uh-huh.
Those are good numbers.
Yeah.
What'd you get?
A whopping 4.
Oh no!
Oh, so tell me about the force you sent there.
The river folk don't do anything without going just full commitment.
Yeah.
So they sent Dao, they sent the mech, they sent the ships, they sent
Oh.
the sailors, they sent the recruits, they sent everybody they could spare.
And remind me again, what playbook does Dao use?
Dao uses the Bogatir.
Okay, good. Here's what happens. Your forces arrive and no one is there. The camp seems to have been completely abandoned. And then the flares go up, and the fire that you are so familiar with, that your ships have dropped upon the jungle, erupts. And you have a choice. You can lose either the mech, you can lose your forces, or you can lose Ironclad.
Ironclad.
Now, I mean, that makes sense. It's the death move, right? Let's read the death move of the Bogatir. When you mark your dead box, you plant your feet and make your last stand. No matter what, you'll remain fighting until your allies are safe and the danger has passed. Only then do you die.
Mhm.
Whoa.
Wait, can we
So-
like zoom into this fight? I want to like.
Yeah.
See what it's like.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Like, this is an ambush that was perfectly set
Yeah.
by the Hua, and the fighting is ferocious. I think the initial explosion of fire and smoke catches everyone off guard, but the riverfolk are valiant and they are already mounting a counter charge against the ambush they know is coming. What does Ironclad do?
They're the first to like hop off the prow of their junk and on the beach, and I think it's not even like they give like this very quiet, like knowing look to their first mate on that junk, and like they already know they're already too far inland to like make it across that path. So they hoist their heirloom spear that they've got, and they throw it hard as they can at like some of the oncoming Hua ships, and like it's futile. It's more of a gesture. It lands in the water and like just goes into the water, and they just stand there, and them Dao and her cadre of like personal vanguard stand on the beach just waiting, ready for I mean, not even for like any onboarding forces. Like it's just them standing, and then they get caught up in the flames. I think it is.
I'm going to push back against that.
Really? Okay.
This is like your heroic last stand. This is
Yeah.
like Boromir kills all of those orcs before he finally dies. This is like this moment is bigger than that. Like this is Ironclad. Like if she needed to single-handedly, or if she has a loyal retinue, then even more so, like fighting off the entirety of the Hua army by herself.
Yeah. Okay, so like I think we do get that shot of the flames, and then like as the flames sort of flicker out and sputter out on the beach, Dao and her cadre of vanguard, like they rise up from underneath the sand as the cleanup crew arrives, and as Dumont walks up with the golden axe, and she has like this moment against Dumont, and like it would be shot in like, oh yeah, this is where Dao is gonna reclaim the axe, and like this is gonna be her heroic moment. But she just takes too many cuts, and then like she doesn't know that Dumond is like is the Dracula.
Oh,
no.
And he as she like goes, as she like has him like on the ground, probably at the throat, he just mists behind her with the axe and just like
Oh no!
out of frame, he brings it down on her, and like that's just, we hear like the wet thud of the axe.
And I think we still see her fighting on with the axe, with Wynn's axe like buried in her shoulder,
Mhm.
like fighting off, you know, five Hua ambushers here, and then like turning to face down another dozen and scattering them. And I think there's a moment where you kind of even drive back Dumond, and you look back and you see the sight of the ships of the river folk escaping. They've made it, and you know deep down that they will be able to fight on because of your actions here. Who is the last person you see on the ship? You make eye contact with someone.
You know, it's the spirit of Lin, her uncle,
yeah.
Lynn's brother, from the mech. Like instead of seeing the mech, like we see the mech for a moment there, but then it kind of fades away, and we see their Lin in like a sort of a humanoid form, and Lin
And
kind of
then-
looks very sad, and like we see like the flames on the water, kind of similar to like that flashback when Lin died in the flames on that bay, the attack on the bay.
And as the world gets hazy and you sink to your knees, a thought occurs to you. You never realized how beautiful the flames are.
Oh my god.
And that's where we leave Iron Cloud. Back to Mahatma Sanam.
Yeah. Jeez. Okay. I have a question. This is from before, so it maybe not be as relevant now. But the gate in the kelp forest, the river
Yes.
folk, they buried it, like
They
it's not
buried it.
functioning. Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
All right. Just
So
check.
far, only one person has managed to go through it and come out of that, and that was
Yep.
Wynn.
Yep. Okay. I just wanted to check. But god damn. I kind of want to know, like, so I think we're gonna try and march out to meet
Mhm.
them. And because we have some river folk, I want to know, like, did you send troops before the retreat or after?
I think it was before. Maybe that like had something to do with it. Like we split our forces to fight on more fronts.
Okay.
So what I'm saying
Dude,
is, it is your fault.
Well, no, 'cause I was like, shit. We just used my influence, or else I could have like helped you or something, like anything. But no, I guess not. Okay. I was
Yeah.
like, I even checked.
So-
Do I still have cancel points on you? Can I like absolve you real quick and then send you with some influence for removal?
I'm afraid not.
As
No.
action, we're still around. It's just Dao's gone.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, in Mahasmasanam, I guess we're gonna also try and push out, and see if we can meet the Tusk Lords out
Ooh.
of the
Oh, you're marching.
You're marching. All right. So, do you want to do a pitched battle, or do you want to try and do something else?
I think we're still worried about. I'm trying to see if we like do this pseudo diplomatically, you know?
Anything's possible.
Anything's possible. Well,
Seems like
Kashura,
And
Yeah, like what do you want to do?
I think like Shura's like really worried that they're not ready for this, right? Or is like, we're gonna lose. The sages are in a military force, and we have basically a like a regiment of the Ivory Riders, and then also a regiment of the Riverkin. So it's like, well, shit.
Mm-hmm. So do you
Maybe
yeah. How do you want to approach them diplomatically? And who do you want to approach? There are 6 or 5 other factions here.
I'm trying to think like sure is like I can take him on in a duel. I can take on a good amount of people. But that's a whole army. So
I mean, you know, one of your aides suggests like, well, you know, what if you challenge their leaders to a duel?
I think I like in our like war room, right?
Mhm.
I'll like turn over to like one of the Ivory Riders, probably, and be like, "Will that work?"
Well, I think it might, and I'll tell you why. This fight is a test to the leadership here of the Tusk Lords. So, if you challenge the leaders, you will show how willing your people are to fight, and it will make those who are perhaps cautioning against marching to war with an enemy whose strength we haven't tested and that we don't even know if is an enemy in the first place. At the very least, it would make them respect you as an enemy to be crushed.
oh,
Oh my god. Sure.
But that is your strength is pitting them against one another rather than, or tackling the individual rather than the mass. That has always been our weakness.
Yeah, they are just as cobbled together as we are, right?
Well, no, we haven't fought. We haven't firebombed our own spiritual sites,
listen,
but we are fractious.
But we are stronger because of it.
We just fight with each other like normal people.
Very well. How about... Okay, we shall meet them on the field, but what about a tournament?
A tournament?
They're not... We can break them up on the front lines. Have them fight each other. I'm sure we could get Dao to join us in. She is an incredible fighter.
I don't know if... Well, she is currently presumably fighting with the Hua, you call them, yes? Says, or no, I guess this wouldn't be... I think this would be one of your advisors that's like, well, Shura, she's fighting with the Hua. Remember how you said not to tell them that we were at war on 2 fronts? She's at war on the... you didn't hear that. She is at war on the other front.
She is occupied. Yes, you're right. My bad.
Occupied fighting a war.
Where?
I'm helping.
You are. Very well. Well, let's we do. I suppose the best thing we could do right now is march and stake our claim against their own. I'll draw them out. I'll pull on their leaders. I'll say their strongest has to fight me before they fight us all.
So how do you challenge them? What does that look like? Tell me about this.
Oh my god!
Because I think this is where we zoom in.
Okay.
So the camp outside of Mahasmasanam is riotous. There are the sounds of celebration, the sounds of preparation for battle.
Uh-huh.
There are there's the trumpets of the mammoths, and the general din of camp. It is not a stoic military force, but the one thing that strikes you is how well disciplined everyone here is. Because even though there is all of this chaos, there is an order to it, and I think Shura would even see that. It's not the harsh lines of what we think of as a regimented military drill, but every piece is moving perfectly,
Okay.
kind of like a dance, which is why I think Shura would appreciate.
Oh
the-
yeah.
Yeah.
I think Shura sees all of this and goes, I know how to get their attention. We'll get their attention like we get the attention of all of our siblings here in Haven. And I want to smash cut to the Tusk Lords receiving a letter written in the script of Hiran that says, basically boiled down, we condemn the Tusk Lords for trying to engage in battle on our lands. I want to publicly condemn a group for their sins.
Yeah. Okay. So
To do what the sages do best.
you do what the sages do best. And we smash cut to them receiving that, and there is laughter. They
You use my cancel culture points.
can you believe this? They have condemned us for coming to war against them. Why have we not thought of this before? What a brilliant move!
Oh my god.
Do you not think so, Master of the Red Hooves? Do you not think so, Tusk of Obsidian? And the whole assembled council kind of agrees. They're like, they are like, you
Yeah.
sounds good, is the vibe. But the sages, I find the next morning nailed to the door a formal request from the Tusk Lords of the Northwest, requesting permission to invade their land.
Yeah.
We have assembled our army, and owing to the fact that we have come this great distance and wish to free you from ever being conquered by the Marbled Empire once more, we are humbly requesting that you allow us the honor of either honing you into a force strong enough to fight the Empire themselves, or that you surrender and allow us to train your forces as a member of one of our 6 houses to resist the Empire. And it is signed by everyone except for the Ivory Riders.
You see Hiran kind of reading the message out loud, and is like, I can't believe that worked. And sure is like, well, let's send him a reply and say that it is customary that they must show us our respect for our own traditions, and to send a champion to show their worth, basically. And we'll continue this battle.
And the reply comes back, this time by a. I don't think the Tusk Lords use Archaeopteryxes. I think they use like. What are those birds that hang out on elephants?
Those little
I
birds.
think it's one of those little white birds kind of
Yeah.
flutters in with a well, it kind of struggles to come in because it's carrying their response, and it basically we kind of cut back and forth and see the negotiation of this fight. They think that it is unfair that only one person from the assembled 6 houses should fight one champion unless you wish to represent all of Haven.
Oh, that's pretty good. Then Shura, I think, is now like pacing back and forth, like frustrated, like, "Oh my god, motherfuckers!" Very well. Tell them that we shall assemble a champion from each of the houses of Haven, and we will convene and fight in the. And then, because we have places in our map that we haven't seen yet, I think maybe. Well, that would be breaking into our territory, so maybe they don't come here. But I was gonna propose maybe we have a duel at the Gathering Place of Rulers.
I mean, I don't see why not, says
Okay, cool.
the helpful advisor. At the gathering, I mean, honestly, if I were you, I would just stand up for Haven myself. I mean, aren't you a great warrior? Come on, aren't those 4 arms?
But
Handle the whole thing with a duel.
but I don't want to lose my ground. They seem to be. I don't. We must not let this escalate. We can end this peacefully, and by peacefully I mean with fists, not swords, spears, trampling, armies.
I imagine that the river folk will do with a spear.
With a gun spear. Very well. Let's.
Yeah. Well, I'll send the messages out, and I think the leaders of the houses of Haven wake up to find a sage style proclamation condemnation letter. But like the typical flow of it is kind of the same, but instead it requests these champions. So let's get some dual champions, and let's I don't know that we should run 6 duels all at once,
Might be a little much.
or 5, but I think
Sounds like a very small pitched
kind
battle.
of see, huh? Yeah, I
Seems
was
like
gonna say,
a small pitch battle.
a small pitched battle. I could also see like one duel that we all kind of collectively take part
Yeah.
in.
I would like that. I think that would be pretty fun.
If you all are up for that and willing to kind of try and hack that out of this
That sounds fun.
system on the fly.
This is not. I apologize. This is not what I thought was going to happen.
What did you imagine was gonna happen?
Famous last words.
I'm suddenly very scared to take on a whole army of people, knowing that.
You know what? I'll fight. We'll just have a pitched battle. Just go fight the army. It's fine.
No, I want to do this duel.
Take back my wig, Lord.
Who shows up? Who shows up, and from which house?
Shamali shows up. She's had a dual ability since the start of the game. Let's go.
Oh my god! Wait, she has.
Yeah.
She has. We've never seen it.
She has the good at
Duel with
dueling
words.
words ability.
Oh fuck yeah!
Yes.
Yeah.
This is her moment to
Okay.
drop the weights.
Perfect. I love it. You come in and it's all like, well, they fight with swords.
Shamali's like, I know.
Debate. Shamali comes up, debate me.
It's gonna be a rap battle.
Oh my god.
Yes.
Yeah.
Excellent.
We're at the.
Shura, I think that Shura is kind of roped into participating by the leadership of the sages.
Sure.
You got us into this mess. You are getting us out of this mess one way or another.
Oh no.
This ends with you, Shura.
Oh,
Okay.
and think Jahi shows up too, but is a bit frazzled because they were expecting to be at the other side, so they like just barely made it in time to this. They are bringing their mech though. On
Hell
standby.
yeah.
That seems good. Just stamping up, child in a mech.
Yeah,
Yes.
this
Their hair's
nothing
all a
about-
mess.
Mm.
They're like, you didn't say we couldn't bring a mech, so I brought it.
Didn't say. It's technically armor.
Do the Woven send anyone? Like, also, you don't have to send people to this as well. This is just the
The
But
Ashes
do the
didn't
Woven send
send
anyone?
Jahi. Jahi just decided to come on his own.
You know, I feel like we're so focused on like crisis management. I think
Yeah.
somebody in leadership is like, are you serious? What is this? This is posturing that we have to do. Like, send troops, get it done.
yeah.
I
That's
think
fair.
if anything, like somebody does show up, but it's like not necessarily under the auspices of the government. Oh, you know, let's bring it full circle. It's somebody who's like a diehard Cuauhtemoc like
Yeah.
fan
Oh,
who's taking them on as like their patron saint.
Oh my God. Yes.
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 Oh, that's
Like a
good.
hero cult, right? Like
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. This is
Krishna
like
kind of
the-
spread
the-
through Alexander the Great's army.
the kid of one of the soldiers who fought at the battle with Cuauhtemoc.
Right, exactly.
Mhm.
Nice.
They've got one of Kotemok's teeth that got knocked out when they got smacked.
Oh my god.
That's I love this.
felt like a whole
Yes,
roller.
no, like there are thousands of saints in you know our cultures. Yeah, of course.
Thank you. It seems our
And river folk.
Oh, some random asshole shows up. Their name is Guy.
Yeah, I love it.
They take an imperial name. They show up by themselves.
this is fine. As long as the Tusk Lords are, what's the word I'm looking for? They uphold their end of the bargain. We're set.
That's 5. Who do the Thunderlords send?
Oh my god, yeah.
The Thunder
Quick,
Lord.
make up 6 characters.
No, the
Bellflower.
Thunder Lords send rain.
Oh, Rain.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Rain.
Who I think looks kind of excited to be there, but then kind of sad when it is not Ironclad that shows up as one of the duelists.
Oh,
I think she kind of looks down at this a bouquet of flowers and sets them to one side.
Oh my god.
Fuck you, James. How dare you turn this against me?
Dang.
You sure we can't bring her
And
back from the
she
dead?
approaches Guy and says, "After this duel, I would speak with you. If you have time for words." Rain, of course, being this mountain of a woman who is clad in dinosaur bone armor. For those of you who missed out on the amazing feast episode. So let's start by dueling. I think the way I would probably handle this is by each of us just kind of takes it in turn to trade off statements. So maybe Shura starts, and then everyone can make one statement after that. After I go, and we'll kind of get the collective feel of what these duels are like. I think you all collectively have 5 hold for 5 people. And I will give the Tusk Lords 4 hold.
All right.
I think they are more of the audience here, and they have the crowd for sure.
Are
They
they?
agreed to the duel. Oh yeah, they agreed to the duel, but only if they can bring their soldiers to witness it. And their soldiers just brought their families that were there with them, or the camp followers. It's it is a show. But they came out for the away game, so to speak.
Oh, this is good. Wait.
Whereas I think the people of Haven are like, oh, the sages are at it again. Well, you know, and I think a lot of people have turned out, but I think the like majority of the people here are, and the people that have more energy invested in this because they know more of the details than Haven collectively does, are the Tusk Lords. So.
So I have a quick addition to what's happening. So Kevin, you said that just like a random person comes in.
Guy. No,
Yeah.
guy.
Sorry. Could we maybe say that news of Dao's death has made it to us by the time this duel is about to happen?
I think Guy brings that news.
Okay, yeah. Does
Yeah,
Guy
that's good,
bring
that's good.
any?
Like if people ask like who are you? Why are you here? He says like our champion is dead.
I'm the ringer.
And Rain kind of gets a cloudy look on her face, and takes a moment.
Well, I think in like to make sure like that there is an audience, right? Like to because this is like a big show. I think like Hiran, who's like old now after like the ages passed and stuff like that, for those who have been a side character of the Sages for a while. She comes out and goes, "Oh, well, something that our, you know, soon-to-be conquerors, wannabe conquerors, should know is that here in Haven, death is not the end of everything. And I think Hirden wants to cast a ritual because the sages can summon the spirits."
Sure. So let's real quick. This would be an actor ritual roll. Hidden's lore is probably
That's very
plus
specifically why Hirden's doing this.
so. Make your roll and let's see what happens.
You want some aid on that?
I would like an 8 on that, yes.
I'll give you an 8 on that.
Thank you.
I think, yeah, as your ritual starts to slightly go astray, Shibali and her spirit, who she has living in her right now, would be pretty good at helping you out. So I think they can, they like start chanting in like a doubled over, echoing, harmonious voice, in order to like reinforce the faltering weaving of your spell. And let's see, I roll an appropriate stat. Presumably that would be lore. Oop, gonna need to roll these on my table. There we go. That's what we call a 12. So that will increase your result by 1 category.
Oh, sick. Okay.
Perfect.
Yeah. So
Technically, you're supposed to do that after you don't roll as well as you'd like, and
Well,
also.
I thought he already didn't roll as well as he liked.
I didn't roll as well as I liked.
Oh, good. What did you roll before?
I got a 6. So
So this is a 7 and 9 now.
yeah. So I got a 1 blessed.
Pick one blessing.
I wanted to do a. Oh wait, the magic is far more powerful than normal.
All right. Magic is far more powerful than normal. Now I will pick 1 Bane, and you have a special list of Banes, which we have not gotten to do this often enough in this show. I am sad to say, but happy to get there now. So you have we've done it before, but you know. We don't get to do it often enough because I love that your list of Banes is like entirely different from
Yeah.
So let's see, what is your list of banes? Here it is.
Yep.
Yeah, I get to pick from a mark of your faith is branded onto your body. A disquieting and unnatural phenomenon warps the area. You're incapacitated by a searing vision of the supernal. All present know exactly what it is you worship, or inhuman monsters will come for you.
It's fun.
I am going to pick inhuman monsters will come for you.
Oh, good.
Oh, good.
Good. That one.
Oh, so Dao is coming.
So,
That was coming to dinner, everybody. But we'll get to that in a little bit. I think Hira knows that like something. The spirits of the dead aren't the only thing that they have called up,
oh yeah.
but the magic is far more powerful than normal, and it is a host of spirits, the spirits that live in Mahasmasanam that have been trapped there are called up.
Mhm.
The dead from the battle of the river appear, and and I think even the a ghostly serpent can be seen momentarily flickering,
Ooh.
watching, waiting.
Oh. Yeah. Powerline shows up.
Look up.
That's it.
Uh,
A
Did
brief
say-
Powerline cameo as the camera pans across him.
Yeah, you see- you
Powerline in
can
the
see-
middle, and gone.
A hound's
for one
silhouette
frame.
crackling with electricity.
yeah.
Yeah,
But I think Heron kind of. How does Dao feel about being brought summoned as a spirit?
I think Dao is like upset and mad and like about like sort of like comes up to you and like chest to chest and like starts like yelling and then looks over your shoulder, sees Rain's like move and then just walks away. In a
and
bit.
they have a conversation. We do not hear it, but we see the words that they exchange. We see the emotions they express, and though they cannot be together more than this one day, here they are. And then come the other voices, the Imperial voices, as the ghosts of the fallen Imperial soldiers join the crowd.
Oh.
Those who died
Uh-oh.
many years ago.
Uh-oh. Oops.
Sneering and snarling, they take their place in the crowd, doing as they are bid. And the duel begins.
Duel.
Shura, you lead us.
Yes, I just gotta go back to that page.
And in the book, and then on the handout under duel.
Mhm. You said that we have 5 hold.
Yes,
Okay, and is that before or after better equipped?
just all together
Okay, cool. Just checking.
for simplicity's sake.
I think Shura's just gonna go in. Just fucking try and take out one of the people. Go hard, and I'm gonna spend one of her hold, and I get my weapon inside your guard, yield or take a flesh wound. As the battle starts, I think Shura like immediately, like starts kind of just rushing and dancing, and then is like again like the rhythm of how she fights, kind of her sensor gets in the guard and attempts to smack him.
Excellent. I faint and you falter. One of the Tusk Lords, one of the, what did I say, the Red Hoof,
Mm-hmm.
is wielding a two-handed hammer, like the kind that is meant to be wielded from the back of a riding animal. but is handling it very deftly. And they swing wide with it and kind of use the wind up not to strike, but rather to drive you back, make their attack and themselves seem much more powerful than they are. So yield or look foolish in front of the audience.
Oh, well, I mean, I can't yield, so I guess I'll have to make a fool of myself.
The dead Imperials cheer, and their voices are a jeering roar that drowns out the ghosts of Haven. Who wants to go next? Let's go. Let me, Rue. Why don't we hear from Jahi?
Sure. Yeah, so he just comes in with his mech. He's like, this is technically a weapon. You only said that we had to
Ain't
bring a
nothing
weapon.
against-
This is with the rules.
Dogs can play basketball.
He says that too, but he doesn't know
I
why.
think that the obsidian tusk that you're fighting is dismayed, but continues fight. Like he looks at the rest of the champions. Like, do you see this?
What is this?
But,
He's
you
just
know,
looking
it's-
around like.
I mean, do any of them? I just like, do any of them in response get on top of an elephant?
Oh yeah, they're definitely bringing a mammoth into this mech fight.
Sick.
Uh,
Is this the same mech that got blessed by Veeb with the ashes?
Mhm.
Oh fuck
That's
yeah.
so cool.
Yes.
Mm.
The Viva
So-
blessed mech.
what do you do?
So is this still a part of the duel, or can Jahi just do whatever?
This is still part of the duel.
Okay.
Mhm.
All right. Oh, and then Jahi has special duel rules.
As the mammoth and the mech square off to fight one another.
Yeah.
Your special rules, I think, are based on how you would determine hold
Mm-hmm.
ordinarily, but I think we're just kind of going with a
Oh, okay.
like a
We're just going. All right. In that case, let's see.
as the mech and the mammoth square off, and you kind of like see the motion of that marbled statue with its massive oversized weapon, and then the very earth shakes as the mammoth steps up, and the two kind of like square off and charge at each other.
Mm-hmm. I think so. Jahi is about to just go for a very direct hit when he hears a familiar voice. As Phoebe's voice is just like, "No, you fool! This is exactly why I didn't want you to go in and be a warrior, because you just go in directly." And he's like, "What? Who's there?" And so I faint and you falter. Yield or look foolish in front of our audience.
Ooh. I think they will look foolish in front of the audience. Do you have an idea for how you make them look foolish?
Yeah, so Jahi is going like straight in for a direct hit, so I'm assuming that they're trying to meet it. They're both kind of going full force, and then when Jahi hears Vib's voice, he like diverts very sharply, thinking like for like a moment that she's there somehow, or like on the battlefield somewhere, and just like breaks to the side really fast, and kind of trips the mammoth, or like pushes at the mammoth's but as it's trying to get out of the way, really sharp.
I love it. I think the obsidian tusk goes tumbling tumbling to the ground and recovers. Kind of rolls and comes up in like one of those cool attack poses.
Mhm.
But the Tusk Lords are laughing at this guy.
Stepped on a spectator.
Oh no!
How about Woven?
Yeah, so we sent someone who claims lineage to Quotemoc, worships him as like a deific being, like this grand warrior who represented our people and fought alongside and brought glory to our name. And so he's super into that. So he's got like an eagle insignia like on his leather breastplate. But he's known as Mapachin, the Ghost Breaker.
Ooh.
Not because he fights ghosts, but because he
Right.
fights with this jade skull capped mace,
Hell
Yes.
What?
giant thing. And if you are a longtime viewer, you will know that the Woven believe that the body is how a spirit finds its way home. And so as long as you bury a corpse, as long as you have bones left, they surround themselves with bones. They live in these ossuary cities. Then you'll be able to find it back. So he is the Ghost Breaker because he wields this mace to destroy your body, so your spirit has no way to come back.
Oh
So this
fuck!
massive guy with this mace, with this giant like red palm like painted onto his face, and his spirit bane Menpo, who is just wading into combat, just massive swings up against his opponent, just driving them back, whether or not they actually connect. This just the arc of the strikes as he's roaring.
I love it.
And I think he's going to be spending his hold to strike at his opponent's armaments, and they must yield, or he knocks away a weapon or a piece of their armor.
I think his opponent yields in the face of this assault. I think those blows drive them back, and they yield.
Oh god. Okay, so one
Guy.
of them.
Yeah, one of them's yielded, and I realized that one of them forgot to go. So, real quick, Jahi, your opponent gets their weapon inside your guard. Yield or take a flesh wound.
Ooh. I think we will take that flesh wound. Juggy wants to like do something, and then Boob's like, "Let me take care of the strategy. You just make sure the hits hit when I need you to do that." So she pulls them in so that they get hit with the flesh wound or mech wound, I guess.
I love it. Great. Guy.
What's the score right now?
So far, Jahi is wounded. Shura is foolish.
Okay, so we're not doing like a side by side
No.
sort of.
So far, you guys are up right now.
We're up.
Okay.
I'm assuming like the other side.
Haven is up, and the other side is up a little bit,
Right.
Mhm.
Okay.
but you guys are ahead.
I think what Guy is gonna do. Guy is like very confused at all the ghosts and things. That seems weird, but Guy's gonna do what Guy's gonna do. Like Guy knows how to fight. That's why he showed up, and he just walks up very very nonchalantly and does some tries to throw a couple punches, does some boxing, and he is going to use a hold. What's it? I get inside your guard, yield or take a flesh wound.
All right, your opponent takes a flesh wound, or rather, the collective Tusk Lords take a flesh wound, as have the collective Havenites. All right, this one, because it's kind of all in the air. I take advantage of your existing wounds. Yield, or I turn a flesh wound into a heavy wound, or a heavy wound into a deadly wound. Since you all have like a flesh wound, someone can take a heavy wound, and I have a notion as to who that might be.
Okay. Oh shit.
I'll take it.
Well, how would you feel about Chimali taking it?
Ooh. That sounds interesting.
Because
How would that
when your
go?
opponent deals you a heavy wound, they must also reveal a secret they'd rather you or the audience didn't know.
That's
Ooh.
true. That sounds fun. I like taking heavy wounds. Okay, cool. So to set up our duel a little bit, are you down with the idea of me fighting one of their magic users?
Oh, absolutely.
Sweet, yeah. So what's this this mystic or shaman or whoever they are like?
I think they are garbed in like emblems. I think they use like icons of mammoths. And I think
Nice.
that's kind of where each of the houses gets their name from, is like a mythical great mammoth. One had, one was ridden all in ivory, and another one had a tremendous red hoof. Another one was famed for its obsidian tusk and things like that. So they this person has the 6 mammoths represented in them in their iconography somehow, and is like they're a muscle wizard.
Nice,
Yeah.
as you do.
What'd you do?
Yeah. And naturally, Chimali is like pulling out her pan flute. She's like ready to chat,
Oh no.
and gets smashed by some sort of magically reinforced punch or something. Is that how you want to do it?
Yeah, I think that
What does it
sounds
look
really
like?
good.
Cool.
Uh,
They do like an element punch.
it's a real King Boomy kind of situation.
Amazing.
Oh my gosh.
That's very
Lord.
good.
Oh lord.
Yeah, Chimali is like brushing the frost out of her hair as she's like been slid back by this hit. So do I make up the secret or do you? How does that go?
Well, I guess I'll reveal the secret that they'd rather you or the audience didn't know.
Okay, cool.
And I think the secret is that the Tusk Lords are mostly not interested in conquest. They've sort of been wrapped up sort of in the idea of it, but most of them don't have the same heart in it that, like, let's say it's the Obsidian Tusks that have been kind of leading the charge for war.
That's the breaking point.
Cool. Nice.
Mhm.
And I think maybe the way I figured that out is as they came in close and hit me, I managed to reach out and grab one of the little icons that they have. And so I'm like looking it over, and it's got like some of the history of their different tribes written on it, and it talks about the Obsidian Tusks being like the ones who always want to fight, right? And so she sort of smiles and says like, "Come on, you don't even really want to be here, do you? It's this horrible hot country. You people should just go back to your lovely tundras with your mammoths. Just have a good time. Feel free to come to Haven to visit, but you don't want to stay here." And then what I do is she very calmly, ignoring her heavy wound, just sits down on the ground and takes her spirit home hammer and just taps it on the ground lightly, and then it starts to like crack the earth and bubble around her, and then like a ring of lava starts to form out around her and just radiate out this sweltering
Yes.
heat, causing the air to ripple. So I am going to call that I make an appeal for reason. Yield or show how this must end in blood to gain 1 hold.
I think they yield. I think that's the secret, is that they were looking to have that excuse, and you give them their reason. And maybe the Obsidian Tusk leader kind of continues to fight on, but Jahi, in his mech, is able to like pin the man down.
Yeah,
from-
the
from his
capital
menace. And eventually you come to an agreement, and the Tusk Lords are impressed by both your showing of strength. I think seeing that the spirits of the dead are just like waiting here, which is definitely not what they believed, and learned before, plus your willingness to kind of meet them on their terms as well, has impressed them. And though it will take some time to hammer out the formal details of alliance, they are willing to join with you and help you fight off the Hua as well. And that's where I think we're going to go to break right now. So let's end for now on that high note. So we'll take a 5 to 10 minute break. We're going to run a quick ad to support the channel. Those of you who have frail human bodies, like myself, make sure you take care of them by moving them around or putting fluids into them or taking fluids out from them if that's what you need. Same goes for solids. Get some Baja Blast and some Master Chief flavored Doritos, because it's serious gamer time when we come back. Oh, and also, since we're apparently the third most watched tabletop game on Twitch right now, maybe take an opportunity during the break to tweet out at people and be like, come check out the crazy finale to this show.
Tell them what they missed. Tell them they missed a mech and mammoth fight. They missed
Yeah, a
Epic
ghost
Death,
army.
a ghost army. Yeah.
Oh, we're number one?
What?
Screenshot it.
Well.
Screen cap that sucker.
Huh?
And then
Put that on your resumes, people. Thank you all. We'll see you in just a few. And we're back. Thank you. Welcome, Raiders. Thank you, Transplanar RPG, for coming on in and plane shifting into our stream. Hope that tuning fork was worth it, because you plane shifted, not planes walk, which is a different thing. You know what? This is what the number one RPG on Twitch.tv is like, and I think this is why. I think if we do exactly what we've been doing, we'll stay there. Welcome. We've been playing Legacy: Free from the Yoke by Mina McJanda and Fyodor Kasatkin. Also, quick shout out, mid-break shout out to Hydroforge, who has given away a copy of Hanukkah Goblins, which was streamed just yesterday, right?
Yes.
That game was so good. It's so delightful. You all love it. You want to win this prize, so stick around for your chance to win. And we're going to head back in. This is a fantasy game. Free from the Yoke is powered by the Apocalypse. Kind of hack feels like too light of a word for what it does with the system. We are a middle fantasy game based on Mesoamerican and South Asian and Southeast Asian cultures, kind of drawing from all of our own particular backgrounds and bringing those influences to the world mythologies, the technology, and so on and so forth. We are this is our finale episode, and we have just had a duel between the champions of Haven, which is the nation, the home nation of our heroes, and a faction known as the Tusk Lords. So let's kind of go back in after that as the duel fades and clouds kind of gather and a storm looms. I think everyone kind of shelters together there for the night, and as the rains and thunder and lightning crash overhead, because turmoil is at 8 now. The mood within the shelter that they've built in the gathering place of rulers. And let's cut over to our map real quick.
Yes.
because I think this is kind of, they have they've built like a big palisade around it now. Not palisade. They've built like a pavilion. That's what I meant to say. But they're able to give shelter and solace to people. The living comfort one another, and through the night there are stories and songs as the civilians from the Tusk Lords mingle with the civilians from Haven, and the warriors kind of eye one another. And at first there's that wary moment of, we were ready to fight and kill each other moments ago, hours ago, but then I think there's an easy camaraderie that comes from this. You have a bond, and it is the bond of having fought the Empire and having lost to them, and having spent so much to gain freedom. And I think it is over discussions of what it means to be free that the people find common ground, and the rulers begin to carve out at least the beginnings of what might one day be an alliance. There are talks of one day how they'd love to send a cultural delegation to find out what your customs are here, and how you put up with having the dead around so much, and they would love to welcome you to the great plains of their homes, so that you can see their cities, because though they were nomads, they have built majesty and are in a sort of renaissance right now, where art and culture is flourishing. And with those hopes in mind, it seems the fate of Haven is ready to turn. But even as the fate of Haven seems about to improve, so too does it seem about to be doomed. For in the bay to the north and east, a roiling catastrophe has been brewing, and storms ravage Haven, not just over the gathering place of rulers, but they are heaviest over the sea. For 4 days and 5 nights, it has been raining now. The waters have risen all along the coast. The storm has not let up, and it is a furious storm. It is all thunder and lightning and ferocity. And even so, in the south, along the coast, moving forward, ever still are the Hua. Though their army was stymied by the brave sacrifice of one of the most valiant warriors Haven has ever seen, they are still spreading, and they are still bent on conquering this land that you have so precariously fought for and called your own these past few years. So, with all of that in mind, what do you do?
Well, it's the river folk and the forgers front right now. So, how do they prepare? Or
Yeah.
I'll let Kevin go first this time.
Hang on. We are in. I got no more PCs to lose, Alex.
We took your spot. So okay, I've got an idea. So what we're gonna do is the forgers have heard of the tragic death of Dao in her heroic fall, and what they are gonna do is make a gift for the river folk in order to honor her memory.
Ooh.
And so I am going to use my move, Beauty for all the world to see. Once an age, I can gift a legendary artifact to another faction, and they will get a surplus of morale or luxury.
I already have morale. So
Fuck
I'll take
yeah.
the luxury.
Cool, and that is going to be a luxury thing then. I think they are going to Let me see.
I know it's just surplus luxuries, so you get to kind of define it, and it's just counted as a surplus of luxury goods, whatever it is.
Okay, cool. So I think they have, since there's a lot of the like master artisans of the forgers were already gathered together since they were making that big mecha armor for Rainbow the Kaiju Plesiosaur. They just get to work on that. So we already have like an all-star team together. So I think what they do is they make a like a big tapestry that is going to be detailing the exploits of Dao and of Win and just like their whole family line. So it shows like the moments of them falling in battle, and we see Win having the cool fight against the ghost mech, and then we see like I think some of that one little kid's story gets worked in. So there's a part where Win is like flying on a ship that's like raining down meteors, and then there's the part where Win is like walking into the gate, and there's all sorts of cool stuff with that. And then we have Dao doing her various heroic exploits as well. And there's lots of little like golden thread for like the little golden axe being held high by a tiny figure. Yeah.
Like you trace the golden axe throughout history.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. You present them this great gift, and along with it, many luxury goods. And yes, I 10 years of Dao beating up people from all of the other factions. Part of the legacy is that's why Dao is known as is renowned as a warrior. Iron Cloud, right, was known. Iron Cloud defeated the 29-man Slayer Bazuso. Iron Cloud stood powerful against the most thunderous of the Thunderlords and conquered not just her fighting style, but conquered her heart instead.
There's a part where when they occupied Skyfire's sister, there's like a thing of the two mountains next to each other.
Oh,
and like the symbols for the factions over them.
cool. Yeah. There's a phrase in Haven, right? Iron Cloud's rain blood.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
There's a phrase in Haven.
That old chestnut.
Yeah.
And speaking of the rain, that storm has come in off of the coast, and it is a hurricane over Haven now. As turmoil comes up to 9.
Jesus.
Oh.
Will Haven ever know
Fine.
peace?
Real quick, what happens when
We're doing a good job.
we reach turmoil 10?
Does something ever
Very good
turn
question. Make a move and find out. Play to find out what happens.
Play
Hey,
around to
welcome,
find out.
Raiders. Welcome to Stinkies to our finale of Legacy Free from the Yoke, a Powered by the Apocalypse game by Fyodor Kasatkin and Mina McJanda. Come on in. We're entering finale, final arc time. So, what do you do now, Riverfolk?
I think the Riverfolk invite a representative of the Forgers and call a meeting with the Arbiters. They would like to petition the Arbiters for aid.
Ooh.
I love it.
Yeah.
All right. You call upon the Arbiters for aid. What are you asking them for?
Is that move?
The move, if you're looking for request the Arbiters' aid,
Yes.
It's
it is on. I think it's in the Arbiters section, so that's where
Yeah.
I'm headed.
what?
I think that's why I'm thrown off.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is. So if you want the Arbiter's aid, you roll plus favor So they're using favor. When you request assistance from the Arbiter, they are magnanimous in their support. Roll plus favor. On a hit, you gain the assistance in the form of a loan surplus. On a 10 plus, few strings attached, and on a 7 and 9, it's a mixed bag. On a miss, I get to pick one from a bundle of options that are very fun for me.
Okay. First, can I pull influence or call in a net on the forgers as I ask them to join me and try and get advantage or help from them? Or that's not how that works. No,
you can do that.
No, but the role is not specifically to do with you, so I can't get advantage.
I could do the other version.
You can ask them to back you up.
Yeah.
You can call in a debt to have them back you up, and then they can back you up by lending aid.
Right. Yeah. There we go.
Sweet.
So you both lose influence on each other.
Yes.
Sort of. Maybe. Potentially.
Maybe.
All right. Roll plus favor and make sure that with advantage, but make sure that that advantage die is different, so you know if it's the lowest or the highest.
Okay. Hopefully the arbiters don't remember all that rebellion we did.
We try to take over.
You were like their favorite for a long time.
They remember real good.
Oh, no.
What do we get?
We got a 6, and the forger's die is once again tied for lowest.
Whoa!
What aid do you want from the arbiter?
That's with your favor.
We wanted them to use the land to drive the Hua out of the bay and the archipelago, but primarily the bay. The archipelago was like the stretch. You ask for like 75, hoping to get 50.
Yeah, you ask for their help in driving them out. Simon, would you be willing to give us a brief cameo as Shochi?
Yeah.
Now that she's an arbiter. Will you let them know that what they're asking for will cost them greatly?
Mm-hmm.
Excellent.
For sure. So Shochi, for those of you who have been watching for a long time, was my avatar for a while. She was a spy master and then an ambassador on behalf of the Woven, who, after usurping the rule of Tispal, the former leader of the Woven, became like cognizant of everything, achieved Chim, as it were, from the Elder Scrolls. Became an oracle and a member of the Arbiters, and so now I think she is just like this ethereal, wisping energy being, changed by the land. So she appears as she did, her same like facial features, but she's grown like the feathers that she wore on her cloak. They just come off of her skin now. There is like a faint crackling of energy off of her. Always, she has like just kind of glides, leaving trails of smoke behind her, and so she appears to your delegation. We once knew you, and that is why we will be gentler than we would with others. You call for so much, and we have seen beyond this moment. Time extends endlessly. We have drunk deeply of it. In time, you will see what the land requires and the cost of what your actions are. We will provide you this, what you ask. A simple task to destroy. One wonders if it is what we are made to do. One day, perhaps the forgers will truly forge new worlds, and the River Kin will sail unknown shores rather than burn the waterways they live upon. What you ask is granted, and in time, payment will be taken. There is always an exchange between the land and the living. That is how it is.
Go ahead.
What was the page of that move? I want to check something real quick.
Yeah, the page of that move is 130 or 131. Top of 131.
131.
Mm-hmm.
There it is. I think the delegation is led by Lone, who we saw in the last age as a much younger woman, who I think I'd claimed as Kelly Marie Tran, and she will stand and say, if the price we have paid in this war, in the war before, in the one before is not enough, then we will continue to fight on our own, and they will, in turn, will refuse the aid that they asked for at this cost.
Ooh.
Oh. Oh, that's good.
If that's cool with you,
very
JR.
good. Yeah, that's totally cool
Yeah.
with me.
That's
I
awesome.
love that.
That price is
Good.
too high. It's like they're throwing it in their face like that.
So I was thinking that the person who came to represent the Forges would be Chimali, because then she
Oh.
can reunite with her old friend.
Mm-hmm.
So she watches the river folk leave with an air of sadness, and then she looks kind of furtively around, and she dismisses the rest of her retinue so that she can talk with Shochi alone. And she's got a weird oblong shape concealed in her robe, and then she lets it out and it falls and sort of bounces and rolls between them. And in the way that, like, when the one ring hits the ground, it goes like boom. In Lord of the Rings, it does that, right?
Oh yeah.
And we see a piece of white marble that has been shattered from the great nails that the Empire drove into the land to pierce its power.
Mhm.
And she says, well, first off, it's good to see you. And I have a request of our own. It's something that I don't know if we can do ourselves, and honestly, I don't know if all the different factions in Haven, if we could get them working together, it would work, but maybe with all the Arbiters and with everyone, we could do it. So what I thought was, we managed to break one of the pillars, right? And most of the other ones, we don't even know where they are. They're buried too deep. But I think what we could do, we've seen that the gate network we made, it has a power to take things in and to replicate them, to duplicate them, right? We saw that with Wind, who became many. And I think what we could do, we have a whole pillar of shattered marble. We could bring it to the gate at Skyfire Peak, and we could bring pieces to the other gates that we know of. And if we enact a ritual where we pass them through the gates at the same time, we pass the power of the Arbiters, the power of the land, all the people working together, maybe that resonance, that sympathetic magic, we can break all the pillars at once. We can free the land. Do you think it would work?
Shochi lands rather than floats. And she, like, the energy stops crackling for a moment. And with your consent, she reaches out and she just gently touches Chimali's face.
Yeah.
And her eyes, like, become hers for just a moment. My old friend, I wish I could see what else you would create in this world. What you ask is so noble. It is all I have known you able to do. You give and you give and you build and you build, and your people are so strong for it. I was never your advisor.
You were.
You guided yourself.
Oh.
I want to help you. I do. But it is not for me to do. It is not in my power. Perhaps in time, when the land is more balanced, I can help. But now, your people need you. And there is a war to be fought.
And as you say that, thunder rolls and rain howls and the earth shakes and the sound of the land tearing itself apart echoes even where you're meeting. Chimali, it is time, says a voice in your head. It is the voice of Rainbow. Chimali, I need you. And then all in Haven hear that unearthly roar, the sound of something beyond reality, something that was never meant to be in this world, crying out in rebellion, in defiance, in anger. And I think, Chimali, if you want, you can leave with Shochi, but you will go to join Rainbow for this fight.
Yeah.
So I think we cut away to the seas where they are storming, and where the like there are water spouts, twisting in the air, and great whirlpools as the ocean itself seems rebellious against this megalodon that is somehow corrupted. The plesiosaur, armored with the best and the greatest that the forgers have to offer, rides out to battle. What does that look like?
Oh, jeez. Yeah, it's just a spectacularly beautiful sight. The armor is made out of all sorts of different materials that are woven and interlinked with each other, bands of metal and different precious stones and things. I think the whole long tail has like a long, like flexible, sort of like scaled, layered wooden armor on it, so it can still move around good, made of all these beautiful woods from the different regions in the country. And the whole thing is just like glowing and pulsating with that rainbow light.
I love it. The shark is it seems to be tearing itself apart or turning itself inside out. There are parts of it that are missing, that you see the void that you've seen in the gate kind of there instead. There are parts where like the parts of its, not shoulder, sharks don't have shoulders, but parts of its body are floating above it, connected by tendrils of ink, and then sometimes by nothing at all. This is a deconstructed shark.
Whoa.
Oh my god.
As these two titans clash, Chimali, you especially, because you were there that day, and you are the only one of the characters who has made it through the ages, and I think that's for a reason. You realize, you see as they fight, as Rainbow like bites into the side of this dark shark. You can see the fragments of meteorite that have kind of embedded themselves in its flesh, and you realize that this great Leviathan is not. It is here not to try and destroy Haven, but it is trying to consume this thing that should not be here, but it can't. And you know that if Rainbow is to win, she'll have the same fate will befall them.
Oh.
Oh.
What do you do?
So we need to pull the meteorite out of it, basically. Is that what you're going for?
Something like that. There must be a reason that the forger of unbroken bonds is the one that is here. So I'm curious what she does.
Yeah. Interesting. Well, Chamali she looks like pretty rough. She's got a heavy wound. That super ice punch that hit her before we can see she still has frost that's like crusted on her hair and on her eyelashes. Her breath kind of plumes out. And she looks over at Shochi, who's floating next to her, and says, "Not sure that I can do this alone. Do you think?" And I like reach out my hand to you.
And she takes it.
And I think, yeah, it kind of makes sense. So, since I'm already like kind of at death's door, I think the move would be for Chamali to like let her life essence sort of disperse into the Arbiter network. And then she can use her death move as a lore master in order to have one last act of ritual magic.
Oh, heck yeah.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
I think that's it. Oh.
And as she does that, and she the two of you fuse, Shochi just gently whispers, I think in a tone that is heard across like the land. In this moment, all of Haven is woven.
I'm gonna cry.
Yeah.
And you feel, right, as the two of you as one. There is no boundary, no distinction between you or the spirit within Chamali, who is willingly giving his all to this. And there it is, Arbiter, mortal, and spirit, all collectively working. The meteor was called down so long ago, but it does not want to destroy. And you realize that it is a wound that has been left on this land, and it is the thorn that has been in the wound. It wants to leave so that the land can heal. And the most titanic battle that Haven has seen ends not in violence, but with a salve, with a balm. And there is a flash of light, and the meteor's gone.
Ooh, I've got some flavor I could throw on that.
Please throw some in.
Yeah. So I think that as this light flashes, because Chamali's name means shield, but she has never been a shield until now. So I think what happens is we hear like the resonance of the earth humming, the lava under the earth coming up through the mountain, and we can see like sort of a wave of like electromagnetic gravity force kind of rising up out of the earth, and just like lifting those fragments of the meteor with it, and just rising slowly into the air in this ever expanding circle, and just carrying them off gently back to where they need to be.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's really good.
And just like that, as turmoil hit 10, so too does it reset, and the storm ends. Somewhere in Haven, Mithra, one of the other characters.
I I wanted to say that like I think like you as the storm clears, it probably like pans on the ocean and you see like a small fleet of ships with a bunch of like older people on them. Like they're all like specifically like much older. And you see Mithra just kind of sitting there and like a smile kind of, you know, finds its way on her face as she like you can like she feels the energy of like all of this going on and goes she just like where she is right now and like last we saw her body was like kind of looked like it was burnt charcoal and stuff like that. She also just fades into ash and you see like the ships kind of like, and then somebody goes, oh my god, it's land, we see it, and like it pans over to you see that it's the lost ashes on their way to port back in their homeland.
And steering that boat, as we said last time, is Wynn, making one last journey as well. The rest of the work of liberating Haven is hard, but it is something that you all accomplish together. The battles are long, and though they cost lives, it is all of Haven that is brought together with new friends against the Empire and against the Hua. You drive them from your shores. You have refused the help of the Arbiters, and I think that means that the land is not weakened and it does not fall to ruin there. As you push them out of your homeland and drive them back, everyone fights, not just for a piece of territory that belongs to the Riverfolk or for an island monastery that belongs to the Sages of Cinder. When you reclaim the streets in the ancient capital that has been long abandoned or occupied by the Hua, it is not the capital that once belonged to the Ashes. It is Haven. It is a fight for one and for all. I think the last thing that happens in this age is the formation of a new house. It is the House of Haven. And it is made up of everyone, and it can be found everywhere. Individual places and allegiances still exist, but you have shown what you can do together, and that it always takes people that must be willing to work to fight together, to fight for each other and for more than just themselves, to make not just a home, but a haven. An age comes to an end, but it is not the last age. There are many more ages yet to come in Haven, with many more heroes still to rise, to tell stories of what has happened this day, and what has happened the next. But for now there is peace. For now there is celebration. For now, there is a safe haven. And that brings us to the end of our game. Thank you all so much for joining us. Thank you all for sharing this world with us, this story with us. Thank you to all nerds here for giving us a home and letting us share this world. I want to thank everyone in this show, in this cast, Rue, Simon, Alex, Kevin, and Viditya for bringing so much of themselves to this story. Like, it wouldn't be what it is without any of you. We, I think, together made something wonderful, and I am so glad that you all were here to share that with us. You don't often get to see fantasy that comes from, this this different perspective. So like I'm just so excited to share this with you. I feel very proud today. With that said, I'm JR. I've been JR, and I'm just chuffed. Let's get hyped for Simon.
It's me, Simon. You can find me on Twitter at Lucha Libris. I write tabletop role-playing games. You can check them out at colorspraygames.h.io, including 2 newly released modules that came out today for Spencer Campbell's Light, which is a rules light RPG that lets you play out Destiny. Go check those out on my page. I am a professional GM for Magpie Games. If you go to magpiegames.com/curated-play, you can find out, you can get linked up with me or many other fantastic GMs running games like Bluebeard's Bride, Masks, and Root, the role-playing game. I'm also a voice actor for the Penumbra Podcast. If you go to the Penumbra Pod on Twitter or thepenumbrapodcast.com, you can check out a fantastic queer sci-fi and fantasy audio drama that lets you see yourself represented in stories. That's me.
And then, of course, Alex.
Hi everyone, thank you so much for watching. That was really special to be able to share this game with everyone. It was so nice. And yes, I am doing things. I just launched a podcast the other week. That's pretty cool. Unplay Tested, the podcast where we play games that have never been played before because they never existed before. We are having a lovely time improvising new games and playing them on stream. We played a very silly Naruto-inspired game where we cracked the moon in half and then realized that's actually canon in Naruto, so that was a little disappointing. But that's a really fun new project that I'm really excited about.
Oh,
Okay.
Uh-oh.
Got muted somehow.
Alex is gone.
Oh no, Alex.
Alex.
Hmm.
Well,
Drama on the finale.
from accidental Naruto to purposeful shipper, it's Rue.
Hello, everyone. I'm Rue. I'm the producer and played the Ashes of Prithvi and Jahi and Veep. You can find me on Twitter at Cherry Drop. I do producing here and at Valor Live.
And then I guess I'm next. Oh, Alex is back. Thank goodness.
Thank goodness.
Final coup.
Alex had to go back to his planet, but now he's back. No, next, Alex, did you have more things you wanted to say before we lost you? What? Maybe.
We should be able to hear you now. No, we cannot.
Nope,
hear
we can't. We can't hear you.
you.
Oh no.
I feel like this is on brand for the #1 RPG
Yeah.
show on
It
Twitch.tv.
is.
So thank you all. It wouldn't be a disaster party without a disaster.
It's true.
We keep to the brand for our fans.
Well, while we wait for Alex's audio, why don't you take it away, Viditia?
Hi, I'm Viditia. I will be and have been, hopefully continue. You can find me online at Viditia Voletti, which is my Twitter, and viditiavoletti.itch.io, or patreon.com/viditiavoletti if you want to support me and my games. I also stream on Twitch occasionally, hopefully more so. 2021, I have some bigger plans for my Twitch channel, so hopefully, you go there, you follow. That'll be really good. Just some things to push. There's 48 hours left in a Kickstarter that I am a stretch goal on, and I am next on the list. So go back. The House Doesn't Always Win. A RPG about revolution and fighting those that oppress. I got to write a little setting for it, and we're almost there. And then keep backing it, because I also want to see Dominique's stretch goal more than mine. And then also, I'm a part of a bundle going on right now called Happiness. So it's a fun little indie RPG bundle that apparently happens every year, but I don't know about that. But you can buy mine in the Prancer bundle. Although there's one rule, you have to gift it. You can't buy it for yourself. You have to gift it to somebody. So,
Oh,
That's so
that's
cute.
good.
Yeah. So gift it to some people, or and I think it's even been said out loud that like if you do want it for yourself, just Venmo your friend and ask them to buy it for you. So that's it really. Yeah, I think that's everything.
Well, that was convenient because I was going to say I'm in the Dancer FMS bundle,
You are.
so you can get that one, including Dragon Hearts, which has the ability to play a dance in it. So it is the danciest game, but that is what we're calling the Inhuman bundle because it has lots of cool games about being animal people and bird detectives and all sorts of cool stuff. So check those out; they're really fun.
Oh yeah, mine is Apprentice Quest is in my game where you get to be wizards and freshman year who need to do it.
Kevin is neither a bird nor a detective, but he is here to tell you all about himself. Kevin
Oh
is
no,
Kevin's
muted.
you
Mine's muted.
Yep, Kevin, you're muted. You're muted in
Thank
the
God it
meeting.
wasn't just me.
It's good.
There
Hey,
you go.
I'm Kevin. You can do the meme I do every week and follow me. Thank you for coming to the highlight of my streaming career. It's all downhill from here. And, well, I am in an unlisted bundle, the Krampus bundle on Itch. Try and figure that out before I do. I did make a game about this game, Haven's Claim. You can play the less wholesome version of this. It's a hack of Starjet. You can find that on winconditions.itch.io. And I have nothing to live for after.
And
Season 2.
yeah, until season 2, when we are excited to unveil that we'll be playing nothing but Destiny 2 to resolve all of our fights.
Yeah.
I'm JR. You can read about my role-playing game articles on Bell of Lost Souls. You can find all kinds of stuff that I've done around the internet. But mostly you can just find us here. Watch our show, tell people about it, and check out all of us. It's a great bunch of folks. Thank you all. You all are fantastic. I can't believe there's 38 of you watching right now. That's awesome. Thank you so much for supporting people of color. Creating gaming content and helping make the sphere a little more diverse. I don't know if you can hear that bell ringing, but there's a little dog that must be let out. So I will. We'll see you all next time. Bye, everyone.
Hi everyone.
Will did not get this prepped in time. There we go.
We're going to be waiting Kupo, Kupo Knight, who is playing some Yakuza like a
Yes.
dragon, or Yakuza lad, as I like to call it, where everyone
Hey,
talks
Yakuza
about
lad.
Mhm.
Oh, my Yakuza lad. Hello.
That's exactly what it was like. Yep.
That's the whole game.
The whole
Alright,
game.
I'm transitioning
Yakuza
us
by
out
Tsuji
and
Kar-
rating it.
Woo! That was beautiful.